The church was silent, filled with mourners in black suits and expensive dresses. A casket rested at the front, adorned with white lilies. The billionaire heiress, Clarissa Vale, was said to have died in a tragic accident days earlier. Everyone whispered about her life, her wealth, and the empire she'd left behind. But one man knew the truth, or at least suspected it. Marcus Reed, the janitor who worked in the Vale family's office, had been the first on the scene at the accident. While everyone else assumed the worst, Marcus had noticed something no one else had. Her fingers twitched. Today, as the priest raised his hands, Marcus stood near the casket, heart pounding. "She's not dead," he shouted. Gasps echoed through the chapel. Cameras flashed. Security rushed toward him. "Sir, step back," an officer demanded. Marcus ignored them, ran forward, pressing the button on the casket's side, something he had noticed earlier during a routine inspection. A gasp filled the room. The casket lid popped open slightly. A pale hand emerged. Clarissa Vale coughed weakly. "No," someone screamed. The priest froze. Mourner stepped back, shocked. Marcus knelt beside her, supporting her head. "I told you," he said calmly. "She's alive." Clarissa's eyes opened, confused and frightened. She tried to speak, but her voice was weak. The room erupted. People screamed. Some cried. Some fainted. Her family rushed forward, some in relief, some in panic. Who did this?" the funeral director demanded. Marcus looked around, steady. "She needed someone to notice the signs," he said simply, "and someone to act." Clarissa Vale, billionaire heiress. Aliva Butt barely looked up at the janitor who had saved her life and whispered, "Thank you." No one could have predicted what happened next. Clarissa Vale was rushed to the hospital, Marcus by her side. The doctors were stunned. Her vitals were stable but fragile, a miracle considering what had happened. The Vale family arrived shortly after, faces pale, hands trembling. Some hugged Marcus. Others glared at him like he had interrupted a sacred ritual. "Why didn't anyone call us sooner?" Clarissa's mother demanded, voice shaking. "Why wasn't I informed?" Marcus met her eyes calmly. "Was there first. I noticed she was still alive. Couldn't wait for someone else to act." The family's lawyers started whispering, preparing statements, drafting press releases. But Marcus didn't flinch. Clarissa, barely conscious, tried to speak. I remember." Her father knelt beside her bed. "You scared us all," he said, tears in his eyes. "We thought we'd lost you." Marcus shook his head. "Not yet. You still have time." Over the next 24 hours, news spread across the city. Headlines blared, "Billionaire heiress miraculously survives, janitor saves her life," the media stormed the hospital. Photographers tried to snap pictures of Marcus, reporters called his small apartment, but Marcus remained humble. He didn't want fame. He wanted Clarissa safe. Then came the unexpected. Clarissa's will, drafted just days before the accident, had stated that if she passed, a large portion of her wealth would be donated to charity. But now, she was alive. Her family debated what to do. They wanted to protect her fortune, control her estate, but Marcus had something else in mind. "She has the right to decide," Marcus told him firmly, "and she deserves to recover without pressure." The room went silent. Everyone had underestimated the janitor. Clarissa, finally able to sit up slightly, looked at Marcus with gratitude. "You saved more than my life," she whispered. "You saved my future." Little did anyone know. His presence in her life was about to spark a decision that would shock the entire city. Within a week, Clarissa Vale was stable enough to leave the hospital. The media circus continued, but she requested privacy. Only Marcus was allowed to accompany her home. Her family gathered, tense and divided. Some thanked Marcus profusely. Others whispered behind closed doors, worried about the public perception of a janitor being the hero. Clarissa took a deep breath, her strength returning. "I want him here," she said firmly, pointing to Marcus. "He didn't just save my life. He saved my chance to live on my own terms." Her parents blinked. Her lawyers gasped. Marcus, ever humble, shrugged. "I just did what anyone should have done." But Clarissa had already made up her mind. She drafted a plan, one that would transform not just her life, but Marcus's as well. She announced publicly, Marcus Reed would be her personal life manager and trustee of her charitable foundation. The city erupted. Billionaires and executives questioned the choice. Media pundits debated ethics. But Clarissa didn't care. Marcus guided her recovery, oversaw her public appearances, and helped her connect with the charities she had always wanted to support. He did it without asking for a cent. Months later, Clarissa reflected on that near-death experience. "I could have lost everything," she told Marcus. "But you reminded me what truly matters: loyalty, courage, and compassion. People like you. They change the world quietly every day." Marcus smiled, thinking of his son and the lessons he had always tried to teach. "Sometimes, saving a life doesn't cost money," he said. "Just costs attention, patience, and heart." In the end, the billionaire heiress's fortune didn't just survive, it was guided by integrity. Thanks to the janitor, who saw what no one else did, and the city learned a lesson they would never forget. True wealth isn't measured in dollars, measured in the courage to act when it matters most.